All right, we're doing another interview in place, but this time we've got a tandem of head coaches, the men's and women's golf coaches, Dana Dormann and John Kennaday. How you guys doing? It's good to see you. It looks like you may be late for a tea time, JK. I don't know.
Well, it's beautiful out here in California. You know, we're ready to play a little golf.
We won't say he's live on the course because that would be a lie, but he's very, very close to being that. Dana, how are you? How's everything going? I want to catch up with both of you before we dive in.
Doing great, you know, as well as can be expected. You know, obviously it's been a hard time for a lot of people, but been fortunate that it's not, you know, too tough on us. We're able to be safe here, sheltering in place, and getting an opportunity to kind of do a little bit of self-improvement, maybe become a better coach. And yeah, it hasn't been too bad for us personally, but feeling bad for everybody else dealing with a lot of stuff right now.
Right. And John, how about you?
Yeah, we're working through it, getting the academics done. Golf is starting to open up a little bit now, so the boys are starting to get back out on the golf course a little bit.
Right.
And we're just trying to manage a comeback. It's a lot like coming back from an injury. Only this time, you know, we're going to be raring to go in a healthy way.
Sure. Sure.
But Dana, could I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Okay. I was thinking that in that background, you have a beautiful background there. You ought to put your national championship trophy in there.
All right.
Put
All right.
Spotlight on
Noted.
You know, I would love that.
It's currently in the office, so
Okay.
the next opportunity I get in, I'll bring it home.
Okay.
Put it back up here.
Well, and maybe that kind of goes into our next point, because you and the three of us were talking before we started recording. When was the last time you both had downtime, for lack of a better term, at the first part of May in a year?
Dana?
It's been a while for sure. Yeah, it's definitely been a change for us. I know, you know, working next door to JK, Coach Kennaday, you know, he's constantly on the go, and yeah, this has been definitely a huge change for us, with all of our competitions being, you know, canceled this spring.
Personally, for me, you know, it's been since 1992. I haven't. I could point to the break and what caused it, but it really is. It's actually a nice thing to kind of get caught up on a lot of deferred maintenance of myself, the house, and the family.
Never been looking better, has it?
Yeah, no, it's all good, you know, and in that regard,
Yeah.
there have been some nice pluses to this, and you know, at this point we start to reprioritize what's really important to us. You know, I think as people and as coaches and our teams are reprioritizing and refocusing, you know, and saying, hey, you know what, our time is limited. Right. And we have a window, and we've got to take advantage of the window when it presents itself. And so I think this downtime is kind of the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're really going to hit the ground running when we're allowed to.
Sure. Well, even though the season was shortened, still some positive news coming out of both teams last couple of weeks, and that was they handed out the postseason awards. And still a lot of names from San Jose State on those postseason awards. And Dana, we'll start with you. Third time in 4 seasons that the women's golf team has had the Player of the Year in the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah, Natasha had another fantastic year. She's a sophomore, and you know, she just such a hard worker, and was just getting going. Like last year, spring was really when she turned it on. And so, you know, we were excited to see what was going to be happening at the end of this year, but definitely really proud of her and what she was able to accomplish in our shortened season.
Yeah, how did she handle the abrupt end? Obviously, she was playing really, really well. I think she was close to cracking the top 25 individual in the country. I think 27 was ultimately where she finished up. How does she handle the halts, and what conversations have you had with her since to make sure that she's still doing all right moving toward the next year?
Yeah, it was tough on her. You know, she, like I was saying, she works really hard, and so she was put in a situation where she couldn't practice, and
Mm-hmm.
that was a complete, you know, a huge change for her. She stayed in the dorms for a few weeks after we were shut down, and then eventually flew back to Malaysia, and where she lives in an apartment. I think she's on the 22nd floor of a 26-story apartment building. She wasn't allowed to go outside.
Oh, wow.
So she was trying to do any training that she could do in her apartment. Good news is she was able to start going outside, start going to the golf courses this week there as well. But yeah, it's really tough on her. But she's hanging in there, working really hard in the classroom, like she did last year, and yeah, she can't wait to get back going again.
Well, and on the men's side of things, the first ever freshman of the year in the Mountain West Conference finished up his shortened season and was honored, and the Spartan men also had a couple of honorees as well. Maybe talk through what Caleb was able to do this year for you guys.
Caleb Shetler was just a stud for us in the first year. He started all the tournaments, and he grew a lot. He's really made a huge impact on our team from character and playability standpoint. He was pushed mightily to the award by his teammate Carl Corpus, which is also exciting because statistically they were very similar. Carl didn't get in the starting lineup every tournament, but he played in every tournament, and they both did very well. Caleb has just made a mark, and so has Carl, and it's exciting. Those two were actually the only real candidates for freshman of the year. They had separated themselves from the rest of the field. So that's kind of exciting for our future. I mean, that bodes well as we continue to move along. We're well aware that there aren't any freshman Heisman Trophy winners.
Sure.
But you know, as we have the facility to develop and the resources to work on all aspects of the game, I think what you're seeing from Dana and our guys getting better throughout the year is starting to become commonplace.
Well, and I think that's a good segue to the next topic, is because I remember when the ribbon cutting happened at the golf facility, right? And I think the comments, generally speaking, from the coaches were, just wait for a few years to see what this facility brings in, the talent that it brings in. And it's not like both programs weren't successful before, but you wanted to take that next step. Are we now seeing that next step because of the facilities you have, and you can bring in really good talent, and obviously it's paying off in the Mountain West Conference? Are we seeing that now kind of develop on both squads?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dana. I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah. There's no doubt. I mean, Natasha has said that you know the facility was a major factor for her deciding to come to San Jose State. Same thing with Kaisa Arutiel, who is our freshman from Sweden, who is second team all conference. And then we have another, you know, our incoming class. Everybody is really, you know, that's a big deciding factor. And like you said, we're able to help develop them by using the facility. It's really been spectacular for us.
You know, Dana and I come from the same generation where we were quite accustomed to competing handily with the very best in the country. And Dana's team came out on top. We held our own. We were in the battle. But that's kind of where we're accustomed to being. That's you know, we're both of us are looking to win national title, not just the conference. And so, you know, there was a little bit of an arms race that went on without us for a while, and it was very difficult to get good, the best. But the thing that I think really needs to be noted is when you have a facility that allows those committed athletes, those athletes with that desire and work ethic to really get after it, then you start to see some extraordinary things happen. And our facility really allows for a player to become as better than they thought they could be.
Right.
And they could get it done there. And everything's available to them. There's no shortage of shot selection. It's got everything you need to become a world elite player, and that's what we're starting to see happening, because we've been able to convince some very dedicated young recruits who may not have hit their stride yet. You don't necessarily want to peak in junior golf.
Right.
You get some athletes that have that work ethic and desire and understanding, and they really truly take advantage of the development possibilities out at the facility. And that's the thing that's really exciting to me, is to watch these kids grow and the lights go on, so to speak.
Well, we're excited to watch what the future holds. Dana Dormann and John Kennaday, the men's and women's golf head coaches here at San Jose State. I guess we'll see you in a real golf course eventually.
I hope. I hope.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Spartan up.